Diecast North is a channel devoted to the teen to adult toy collector, pop culture fans, and fellow nerd enthusiasts. This is a PG-13 channel. I might say some what? Viewer and parental discretion is advised. Kings and queens, vagabonds and scallywags alike, welcome back to another episode of Diecast North's Galactic Hooligan! And we are about a week away from Transformers Rise of the Beast. And we have actually got a lot of great stuff going on there. I cannot wait to see the movie. I may be one of the late ones seeing the movie and everything so you aren't going to get a review from me about it just yet or anything like that. But I will actually come back and I will actually be giving my two Energon cubes for it and everything like that. So just wait around for that and everything. I can't wait to talk about it. I may have to schedule a talk with some of the Cybertronian Council for this. So we will actually see. But yesterday, we actually found out that we actually are getting new figures in the way of Transformers Generations Deluxe G1 Optimus Prime. I really am ecstatic to actually hear that. Also, I'm actually kind of curious to how they're actually going to be doing a Deluxe Optimus Prime in G1 style. So I'm actually relatively thinking that it's still probably going to be around the same size and the same height as our G1 Ultimate Commander and everything. And I really need to do a review on that guy one day. Also, we're actually going to be getting an Origins Legacy Wheeljack. What? And so I agree with the Legacy, with the Voyager's size, only because I'm actually wondering if they're actually going to be able to enable Wheeljack to carry Bumblebee inside of him also, and the sizable nature of that van and everything just seems to be the real key ingredient into making Wheeljack the Wheeljack that we actually saw him in the Transformers TV show. So that I'm actually looking forward to. But what the hell? All of a sudden we actually hear Rock Lords are actually coming over to us. Rock Lords? I haven't seen these guys in forever. I saw one over at a vintage toy store that I actually go to, and that's Bits and Buttons. If anybody's actually in the Florida area, Bits and Buttons and Tate's are actually definitely the place for you guys to go see. Tate's is actually full of comic books and that sort of thing, and they actually do carry newer style toys, vintage toys also. But Bits and Buttons is actually a place, if you're a toy collector, for you to get all of your jollies, because that place actually has just about everything that the toy collector actually really wants there and everything. There's always something new, something old to see, something that actually amazes me all the time when I go over there. The last time we went there, we actually found a giant green K2SO that was actually over there, and it's about $3,000 for that thing, and I'm dying to actually have that for our place. But where would we actually put that thing? That's one of the things that would actually probably keep me away, aside from the price. But that would actually be one of the key things that would actually kind of keep me away from that guy. But super 3D printed. It's actually something for you all to see and everything. Next time I go there, I'll actually take pictures of this guy, because that guy is just brilliantly awesome. But Rock Lords, I never thought that we'd actually see a day when brand new Rock Lords are actually being made into a Transformers universe. All I'm saying, Hasbro, is that when you're actually ready, please bring us a Leader 1 and a Psykill, and also bring us back that Crasher, because we haven't seen her in the American, we really haven't seen her in the American markets, and the scalpers be swiping. So I'm actually just really hoping that we actually get something like that also. We actually have Dirge coming out onto the market, where my Green Light Hasbro, where my green light? Because that's the one character that I can actually get, that I really need to actually make up my Orthea. But sad to say, I'm not exactly sure if Hasbro is actually going to make my green light actually happen. But what they did make happen is they actually made a 3-pack for these guys. Now, when I actually decided to get this set, I was actually only interested in it for Cheetor and low-key Wheeljack, only because I like this design, but I hate the fact that they're actually calling him Wheeljack. I would rather have them called him Poindexter or Pencil Pocket or something like that, you know what I mean? But like Wheeljack is actually kind of like a far-fetched thing and everything like that, but I really like this design though. And Nightbird, I wasn't planning on getting, but I wound up playing around with her and everything, and I really kind of like her actually. So I'm actually going to be doing all 3 of these. Hopefully it won't take an hour or anything like that, you know. On my Victory Saber review, I'm really happy that you guys actually kind of like joined me in droves and everything. It really means a lot to me. Thank you for sitting through me for an hour and a half talking about this guy. It's a thorough review. If you've missed it, please come back and check that out and everything. I'd really appreciate that. Also, remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I'd really appreciate that myself and everything, as I'm actually still a growing YouTube channel, and I would actually love to grow a lot more with you guys and everything. Share me around like a blunt, you know, and like I would appreciate it. Now, let us get into these 3 before the movie actually starts coming out. I'm going to give you my 2 cubes on it, and welcome. So here we are, days away from Rise of the Beast, and I am just kind of happy to show you this Target exclusive 3-pack that we actually have over here from Buzzworthy Bumblebee. I was actually really excited to check these guys out. The one character that I was actually looking for more than anything else was Airraiser, and I love that design. The deluxe version of Airraiser is actually amazing. Not so much the Studio Series brand or anything like that, because we actually kind of like have her already, more in the Beast Wars line and everything like that, which I thought was actually very cool. But we actually have these guys. I wanted to get this more for anything else for Cheetor, because Cheetor was actually just like a really great design, aside from these brown pants that he's actually wearing, and we'll actually get into that in a second. Also, Wheeljack over here, who I'm now dubbing Poindexter. So like he's actually like either Poindexter or Pablo, because a lot of people have actually been calling him that as well and everything. But Nightbird over here, I was not expecting to like whatsoever or anything like that, but she actually kind of grew on me, and I'm actually looking forward to checking these guys out right now with you. And here goes the review. Before we actually get into anything here, we're actually going to take this into the Rise of the Beast box here, Jungle Mission 3-pack, and we actually have Cheetor as portrayed in the movie. We actually have Nightbird over here and Wheeljack, and there we go. And Nightbird looks freaking amazing here with her deep purples and her silver bits and everything. And this is the way we actually would have actually loved to see her portrayed and everything in toy form, because that would have actually made this so much better and so much more redeemable, you know? Like, I really love everything that's actually going on in here. Those glowing eyes, that silver paint that's actually on her skyline mode. I love that. I just really wish we could have actually had that now and everything, you know? Hasbro, I really hope that you actually revisit this soon, because I would love to see that. I would love to see this actually being made into the silvery form that we actually know her to be. But there we go. Cheetor is actually looking like a badass. I love this. We actually have like all the stuff over here, mostly from Cyberverse and that sort of thing. On the back, we actually have the figures looking as cool as they actually can and everything, you know, like Wheeljack is actually looking pretty cool. I'm actually liking the toy photography over here for Nightbird also, even though I still say that she actually needs to have that silver. If you actually made the silver and maybe a carbon fiber top and everything, I would absolutely love this altogether, you know? And then there goes Cheetor. And in the box, we have 3 distinct instruction booklets, and they are actually very cool, actually. Let's check out Cheetor's for a moment. each and every one of them are actually done in like a silver and yellow, which is actually a very cool way of doing it. This actually makes things a lot clearer than like some of the other colors that they've actually used in the instruction booklets and everything, and I really dig that a lot. Again, better would probably be like the actual toy being used and everything like that, you know, instead of like the drawings for the toy and everything, or the 3D renderings for the toy. But I really do enjoy the fact that we actually have the yellow over here to kind of like make like more of a distinct mark as to where everything is actually supposed to go, and it's actually really nice. I'll actually give you a quick look into both Nightbird here. There we go. And you can actually see everything over here. If you actually want to go through this at your leisure, you can. There you go. And we'll actually check out Wheeljacks over here. And there we go. Yeah, I still want to call him Poindexter. So if you actually hear me switching back and forth from Wheeljack to Poindexter, don't blame me. But there we are. And then there we go with Wheeljack. And they're very nice instruction booklets. And now we can actually kind of get on along with the figures. Let's start off with Cheetor. Methinks that out of all the characters that we could have actually had from this movie, one of the designs I was actually looking forward to the most was Cheetor over here, who is still a Cybertronian Cheetor and a cheetah and everything, you know? We actually have great design qualities over here and everything. I'm actually loving what they actually did with the arms over here. I'm loving this like chest piece right over here and everything. His mouth does open and close, so that's actually really cool. I think the yellow eyes over here could have actually been like a little bit better and everything like that. Like we could have actually seen that in blue or something like that. It looks like he's actually kind of like staring into your soul and everything, but like that's actually great. I'm loving this Autobot emblem, Maximal emblem right over here, and all of this is actually very cool. And I kind of wish that they actually kind of like really color matched everything around here, because one thing I don't like is the fact that they actually break up the coloring right over here with this kind of like I want to say mustard yellow over here and everything, and like this mustard yellow in the back over here and everything. Like, I kind of really wish that there was like a lot more conciseness and everything going on into their color choices and everything. Same over here. I kind of wish that we actually had more yellow over here and everything. And I know that they were actually breaking that up more for the robot mode more than anything else. But yeah, aside from that, he's actually okay. He's actually very cool. I kind of also think that the one that we actually got from the Beast Wars selection from Kingdom was actually so much better and everything. We have like a lot more in the way of articulation. Let's go through articulation on this guy first. So you actually have like the knees over here. You can actually like kind of like put his shoulders upright like so. We actually have like this, we have the same thing going on the other side. He actually has an opening and closing jaw. You can actually move this and everything. You actually have this movement right over here at his ankle. So not really a whole lot in the way of movement over here. The same thing can actually be pretty much said about this. We don't have a turning over here, but he actually still has like the opening and closing mouth. The one thing that actually makes the difference for me is that we actually have a ball joint right over here at the paw, or right over here at the front paw here. And I think that actually makes the world of difference. Also, we actually have some articulation going over here right down at his butt and on his hind legs. So I think that actually kind of like made him a lot better, also with like all the color matching that was actually over here also. And the color distinction right over here with the orange eyes as compared to like actually deep sitting it in with yellow and everything makes a world of difference on this guy. With this guy, not so much. He's now the Kingdom version of Cheetor is like a lot bigger than what we actually have for the movie version, you know? So like I think that actually makes a huge difference right over there. And they are making kind of making a lot of figures a lot smaller now, which is kind of a bummer to me, you know, for the price that's actually being paid for them and everything like that, as opposed to everything else. Let us bring in one other cat figure here and everything like that. And we're actually going to bring in Tigatron over here. And again, there we go. A lot bigger. I kind of wish we actually had Tigertron in this movie too and everything, you know? But again, there are a lot of distinctions here and everything. One thing that Hasbro and Takara didn't leave out was the movement right over here at the ankles and everything like that over by his paws. You know, I really think that that actually makes a huge difference in everything, you know? Also, the kind of like realism that actually goes on into these figures and everything like that is outstanding. I really love that, the color blending that's actually going on here. Or in this guy, it kind of seems that they were actually kind of like all over the place. I'm just going to go through a quick transformation on this guy. So, head check! Going through transformation, we're actually going to remove the tail right over here. You know, just like on any Cheetor and everything, you're going to remove the tail. You're actually going to move this piece out a little bit and everything to give you a little bit of a reversal right over here, so you can actually kind of like move his inner paws on the outside and everything, and he actually has these feet right over here, which are excellent, by the way. Then you just want to reverse that. Then we actually kind of like do the same thing on the other side, so we actually just move this piece out, move this piece in, and then we actually have his feet right over here, so that actually ends the foot transformation. We'll actually go over here, we'll move these pieces out. Again, I really wish there was more color matching over here and everything. I know they wanted to break up the color, I get it, but at the same time, I kind of wish that they actually did a lot more in the way of keeping this all concise. We'll move these pieces down, which is excellent coverage for the arms. Also, I kind of wish that they actually had a better way of holding these hands in, but you actually unclip them from his waist right over here, and then we'll actually just move this out and keep this here for now. We'll move his arms outwards, swing them around right over here, and then over here, which is amazing to me, they actually gave him a gut gun, and I love that so much. With this, with my copy, it's a little tight on the inside, so you really have to wiggle that thing out. But then you take it out and then you actually bring out the barrel over here, and that's actually really nice. I'm going to set this aside for now. So come over here, we'll bring all of this down, and this actually reveals his head that's actually on the inside. So we'll actually swing his head around. We will then proceed to plug this into his rib cage right over here, what is actually supposed to be his rib cage, and just be careful on that. There we go. They're just like a couple of clips that actually, they're just a couple of pegs that actually go in there. We will then put his head on the inside right there, and then we'll bring his outer legs onto his back. And now, last but not least, these two pieces just squeeze in a little bit to make a collar for him, and there you go. There goes Cheetor in robot mode. We have come to expect a lot out of our Cheetor and everything, and this guy really doesn't disappoint me whatsoever or anything like that. On my copy, this piece actually comes out a little bit a bit too easy, so there is actually going to be some keyings done on this guy soon enough. But let's take a really good look at this guy, because that guy's face is just freaking phenomenal right there. I love this cat look right here and everything like that. It's actually just so good. Look at this guy. It's so good, so good. I love it. I love like the extended chevron that he actually has over here and everything. That's actually really nice. I'm actually really kind of liking this color also. Very cool. The brown over here doesn't really disappoint me whatsoever or anything like that, so that's cool. I like that for the color breakup and everything. Although I really do wish that this was actually done in blue and everything. But let's go over here. His chest is actually really nice, and I love that the throat and the chest of the cheetah actually makes up the abdomen of the Cheetor himself and everything like that, with a very convincing rib cage and like abdomen over here. That's actually really cool. I love everything over here in this codpiece. I love this over here. The blue on here, I love the metallic blue that's actually going on all over the place and everything, especially in that face. It's just really, really cool. The legs, the boots themselves are really nice, with like a really good level of detail over here and everything between the fur and between the piping and everything like that. It's actually really cool. I love these feet. All in all, he's really not bad. I just kind of wish that they actually maybe used more yellow over here and everything like that, and kind of like picked his hands out and like his and like everything over here on his shoulders in more of a blue color than anything else, because I think it would have actually matched along with him a lot more. He actually, as in all cheetah fashion and everything, doesn't really have a whole lot of places to actually stick his little feet or anything like that, but he's still somewhat very, very cool and everything like that. And I say that face is just really outstanding. I love that. Now, his articulation goes like this. He actually does have a head turn. He can actually look up to an extreme detail. He doesn't really look down or anything like that. He has a waist pivot right over here, so that's actually really nice. Not totally 360 or anything like that, due to like all the other added details and everything like that on his back and everything like that, but you can actually turn his waist, so that's actually really nice. He can actually move his arms straight out like this. He actually has almost a 360, but inhibited due to his to the shoulders of his cheetah form. He actually has rotation right over here on the bicep. He actually has a 90-degree bend right over here. He actually has a turn on his wrist and everything, and they can actually go in and out and everything because of this little slot over here. Again, I kind of wish there was like another opening right on the inside over here to actually make room for his arms to go into in cheetah mode, and I think that would have actually won for me. He actually has about a kick right over to this degree right over here, just inhibited by his waist and his thigh parts and everything. He doesn't really do a whole lot of kung fu or anything like that, but he's actually trying to work himself up there and everything to Van Damme quality and everything. He actually has a thigh rotation right over here by his knee. He has 90 degrees of bend right over here, and he has a pivot, and he actually has dorsiflexion and everything, so that is actually really, really good. And the fact that he actually comes with his gut gun is actually really cool. And this weapon over here is actually his tail whip that actually becomes kind of a sword and everything. I kind of tend to think that that wouldn't have actually like inhibited anything by like leaving this like so, or by like maybe making sure that the color was actually more concise on his tail, on the end of his tail here and everything like that. But he actually does have this thing going. It's actually very Count Dooku and everything like that, you know what I mean? So like he actually has a very, very, it's actually kind of like a cool sword slash chainsaw sword kind of thing and everything like that. I'm not exactly sure where they were actually going with this and everything, but he actually does have to have some bend. I kind of wish with these movie toys that you actually had like a lot more bend over here on the tail. I'll give you a quick comparison with Cheetor and Kingdom Cheetor over here, and again, I just kind of think that the Kingdom version of it just really wins for me and everything, you know? I do love this version of him. Like, I think this version of Cheetor is actually just like very, very cool, but I really love the longer, lankier kind of like look on this guy and everything, you know? Plus, like, everything that they actually did on paint actually just really wins to me and everything, and you can't like really say that the polka dots on his tail and like the tail detail and over here doesn't win also and everything. I kind of like still need to get like a sword component for his tail and everything, but like aside from that, he actually looks great. The only thing that actually doesn't win on this guy is that he doesn't actually carry a gut gun like this guy has, but I really love both of them, kind of like almost equally and everything. Like this guy actually has like a lot more of a cat component to him and everything like that, but they're actually both very cool toys. And another quick comparison between Cheetor and Tigertron over here, you know, with both the guns and the tail whips and everything like that. Both of them are actually very cool in their own rights. I am looking forward to seeing what the Voyager version of the Studio Series of Cheetor is actually going to be like. I really actually have to say that I'm one of the people who might not be as excited about that guy. I was actually more excited about this guy than the Studio Series guy and everything like that for a couple of reasons. If I ever get the other one and everything like that, I definitely am going to have like a fierce competition between the both of them and everything like that, because I really think that this guy actually does Cheetor the best. And now let's check out the mainline versions of Nightbird and Wheeljack. And Nightbird is actually right over here on my left, and Wheeljack is actually going to be over here on my right. And I really love to see these being a lot bigger and everything, you know? There's a reason why I'm actually doing the vehicles together and everything, and it's only because I want to give size comparisons between what we actually had before to what we're actually getting now. So, here we go. Nightbird and Wheeljack with Bumblebee, Last Night Cogman with Last Night Hot Rod, Bumblebee Movie Wheeljack, Studio Series Hot Rod, and Bumblebee Movie Studio Series Optimus Prime. And with each and every one of these figures, I don't know if you can actually tell from where my vantage point actually is, or from where your vantage point actually is, excuse me, but it looks like the movie cars are actually getting so much smaller now and everything. I know this is the mainline version, and I haven't seen the Studio Series version of these yet or anything like that, but like say a Nissan Skyline with an Aston Martin, I mean, I really expect these to be like, these to be a lot more sizable and everything like that. And it looks like the downsizing with like the cost, as per cost, is actually a real thing that's actually happening with the movie lines and everything, you know? Let's compare that with, say, Hot Rod over here that's actually a Lamborghini and everything like that, and then compare that to, say, what we actually have over here. There's no way that that's actually supposed to be as small and minuscule as it actually is and everything like that. I would expect this to be a lot bigger, even when we actually have the Studio Series version of Hot Rod. It looks like we're actually getting a downsizing in some of the movie toys, and really hope that this doesn't actually affect like the Legacy line or anything like that, even though we are actually noticing like a little bit of a smaller size in certain scales and everything. But let's say movie Bumblebee over here, there's no way a bug should actually be bigger than Skyline or anything like that. And let's go head to head with the movie bus here and everything, with the mini bus. Look at how tiny those wheels actually are compared to Bumblebee's here and everything. And the whole entire profile, it just seems all wrong and everything for a Volkswagen minibus and everything. I really hope that we actually get bigger figures in the Studio Series line and everything. It looks like the better series are actually going to be coming from the Studio Series line and everything. I myself can't wait for the movie Studio Series for a movie Studio Series Rhinox. Excuse me, guys and girls, but like this actually just looks like it's actually kind of like all in the wrong sizing and the wrong class and everything like that. I just kind of wish that these guys were like at least a bit bigger and everything like that in comparison to what we actually had before. In fact, I really think that they should have actually kept that as the forethought for making these figures and everything. But otherwise than that, modeling is actually pretty okay and everything. The whole entire look of him actually screams minibus to me, and you know, like this is actually a very, very cool little figure here and everything, you know. You actually have this blaster that can actually be held like right up there on top of the cab and everything like that. But I would have loved to have actually seen like a television, a satellite or something like that to actually go along with this also and everything, you know. But I really hope that we actually get something in the way of like a better accoutrements for like what we actually have over here. And even comparing him to his to his Bumblebee movie counterpart and everything like that, there is no way that this is actually Wheeljack altogether. The elephant in the room is, I kind of wish they actually just named this guy a little bit like something else and everything like that. I'm actually calling him Poindexter myself and everything, you know. You guys actually figure out your name. I know a lot of people are actually going with Pablo because of TV Pablo on the side and everything like that. But I just really want more for this figure and everything like that, instead of like being renamed just to keep the fandom going and everything like that, you know? Like, if you were actually another character altogether, totally acceptable and everything, and I think everybody would have actually loved that altogether, you know? But as far as a Wheeljack, I don't know. He's actually kind of a far-fetched and everything, you know? That being said, both figures really are not bad at all or anything like that, you know? The Skyline itself and everything almost kind of looks like a Skyline. Kind of reminds me more of a BMW more than anything else to me and everything, you know? But like maybe a 325i or something like that. But she's actually really not bad at all or anything like that. My only complaint with her is that I really wish that Nightbird were actually like a little bit bigger and covered in silver as opposed to this matte gray that they actually have going over here. And I don't like this whatsoever or anything like that. I'm actually wondering if we're actually going to see some gold plastic syndrome on these two altogether and everything like that, because they are covered in what seems to be like the gold plastic and everything, and with maybe brittle and everything in the future, you know what I mean? There goes the bottom of their car modes, there goes their heads, you know? So they both are actually carrying the VHS and everything like that. So actually, they're not bad, but they could be a whole lot better. That being said, let's get into double henshin! Into transformation of Pablo over here, and we're actually going to take Poindexter and we're going to remove this piece right over here that's actually going to play out the part of like being his suspenders and everything like that. We'll actually move his arms outwards. We will actually then take his wings and pull them out. We're going to disconnect his feet right over here. So just move that and just be a little ginger with it and everything like that also. I might be kind of like rushing things a little bit. So here we go. Just let me move that out of the way. And there we are, I think. Yes? No? Hold it. This piece actually went back in here. All right. There we go. And there we go. We just have to slide it from underneath this roof right over here. After that, just kind of like fix his legs, just like bring these kneecaps down and down like so, and then just like readjust this. This door piece will actually go in the back, and we're actually going to do the same thing on this side. We'll move his kneecap. We'll bring that right down there. We'll adjust his feet. We'll bring this down. And that is the bottom of the car. And we'll now bring his arms out this way. There we are. We're going to move his wings around like that. Bring that whole entire roof section down, and then just bring this all the way down like so. We'll actually just make a couple of adjustments with his chest piece right over here by bringing his chest piece out. There we are. And we'll do that again on this side. We'll accordion everything in here until it clicks in. And then this piece right over here will actually go on the inside. Like so. And like so. And then make a couple of like quick adjustments for Wheeljack. Make sure that you actually click this right in here, and then get those in, and there we go. And then that is Wheeljack in his robot mode. And let's go from Poindexter onto Nightbird. On Nightbird, transformation is actually pretty simple. All you actually want to do is remove the rear spoiler. You can actually keep it on, in fact, and you can actually still transform her with the rear spoiler on and everything. So let's do it that way and everything like that, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people have actually removed the spoiler and everything like that in their reviews. So there we go. We actually just want to make sure that this is actually flush right against the back of the windscreen. And then all we want to do is just open up the front end right over here. We'll actually bring her arms down and out, and then down and out this way too and everything. And then we are actually going to remove the rear molding just a bit, just to give her a little bit of leeway and everything, so she can actually start wiggling her legs on the outside. There are a couple of tabs that are actually on the inside over here also and everything. When you're actually going back into auto mode, it's actually just more of a process of just like scrunching everything in just right, so you can actually get this molding like back over her knee. So there we go, and then you'll actually see it, and then I think you'll actually be able to do it in reverse. There are a couple of mechanisms that are actually right on the inside that actually make up her knee. So we'll actually bring that down, and then we'll actually bring this ankle down, And then we'll actually do the same on this side. We'll actually bring this all the way out by accordioning it outside. And then we'll actually bring this knee out. We'll lift her feet. We'll then do a 180 turn right on her upper thigh. And then right over here, and I think you can actually just bring this all the way in like that afterwards and everything. With this, you actually kind of like want to bring this all the way down like this and everything. The top lid of that hood will actually go right on the inside, and then just bring all of this down and right over here, and it should actually snap in. Once you actually have all of that done, you should actually have Nightbird. All you want to do now is just adjust her arms a little bit. There we go. And just make sure everything's all snapped in. There's a piece right over here that actually takes in the front hood here. And then just settle this right on her back. And then there's actually going to be a piece right over there that actually goes into here. That'll actually secure it. And then there goes Nightbird in robot mode. One other thing that you actually want to do on Nightbird is you actually want to secure these two pieces right over here. If they're actually down like this, they actually just slide up a little bit, and then there you go, and then there goes Nightbird and robot mode. And here we go, Wheeljack and Nightbird, and they look pretty nice together and everything. I do actually have to say, I really like this mold for Wheeljack altogether and everything. His articulation is he actually has a 360 on the head and everything, uninhibited. He can actually look up, he can actually look down. That's actually really nice. He actually has a couple of joints right over here, kind of like softer joints and everything like that. I do need to tighten them up and everything, admittedly, but he actually has a ball joint right over here, so he actually has pretty free movement, including the fact that his wings can actually move in and out of the way and everything. So that's actually pretty nice. He actually has rotation on the upper elbow right over here. He actually has an arm bend right over here. Nothing at the wrist or anything. He also has an added joint right over at his shoulder. There's like a soft mounted joint right over there and everything like that. It's pretty flimsy. So he actually has that. He has rotation on his waist right over here. He has an upper thigh joint right over here also. Very limited though. He actually has like 90 degrees right over here where it actually conjoins for the auto mode. He has tilt right over here on his ankle, a toe tilt right over here, and he can actually kick out this far, and he actually has like a lot of things banging against him and everything like that. For that, he actually can only kick out to that far, so that's just okay, you know. But aside from that, he's actually pretty okay. Like, altogether, he actually makes a great model of a figure and everything. I like his design altogether. If you actually really wanted to, you can actually take his joint right over here and remove this, and then put his suspenders right in there if you actually really wanted to and everything like that, to get out of the way. It's actually not a bad way to actually get the suspenders out of the way and everything like that, because some people might like or dislike the suspenders, but they're options for your figure if you actually really wanted to do it that way. Nightbird actually has pretty interesting articulation. She actually can move back and forth and everything like that, swing her arms back and forth. She's actually inhibited by this piece right over here on her hood. She has pretty far outreaching movement on her arms. She actually has a 360 right on her shoulder. She has a 360 right over here on her elbow, on her upper elbow. She actually has she actually has an L bend right over here, so it's just 90 degrees. I don't think, she doesn't come with like anything at her wrist or anything like that. It would actually be kind of cool if they actually made a separate piece of plastic right over here that actually goes in here, so you actually have like a mushroom peg that you can actually make that turn with and everything. It could have actually been worked in here. I don't know exactly why they didn't. She actually has a 360 right over here by her waist, but it's actually very inhibited by like everything on her everything on her hood right over here and everything like that, and her excuse me, and her upper and her windscreen right over here and everything like that, her window, so like that's actually a shame. She, for a ninja, she doesn't have like a full kung fu kick and everything like that, so that's actually kind of sad. She actually has a 360 right over here by her upper thigh right over here. She can kick out all the way out like this and everything like that, so she can actually do that. She can actually kick out a little bit, but it's actually all inhibited by like all the junk on her from her car cable and everything like that. And she actually has not one knee but a double knee right over here and everything. So I'm actually taking it that this will actually be like her knee piece right over here, and it's actually weird, but like at the same time it's interesting for a ninja character and everything like that. So I thought that this whole entire cod piece and everything around here, or like everything around here on her lower section and everything, would have actually bothered me tremendously. It bothers me, but only a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, she's actually kind of like still a fun toy. She actually has like really weird proportions here and there and everything like that. But it's actually doable and everything like that. It's a figure, it's a toy. You know what I mean? So like, I guess you can actually get away with it by saying it's a toy. They did it that way, you know what I mean? But like, at the same time, she's actually just okay. She actually has a long ankle tilt right over here due to transformation, and she actually has this foot piece that can actually go in and out. Like I said before, she actually has some really weird proportions and everything, but I really love that head sculpt right over there. That head sculpt is just really dazzling, you know? I kind of wish that they actually, again, I'm going to keep on griping on this altogether because I feel as though this whole entire thing could have actually made in like silver and purple and everything like that, and she would have looked amazing. And I would have actually loved to have actually seen them like perform that kind of a paint job on Moonracer, on Nightbird here, but they didn't, and I don't know exactly what makes them make their decisions when it actually comes down to a figure like this, but she could have actually been like a whole lot better, and I really think that the paint scheme on this would have actually made it a whole different robot altogether and everything. She actually does come with a couple of weapons. You can actually take these off, and you actually have a claw weapon that you can actually do by disassembling this thing right over here, which can actually be a little bit of a pain. You actually put these together like so, and then you actually attach them right into her forearm right here. So there we are, and that actually makes a claw weapon that you can slash with and scale walls. And also, you actually have this blade right over here that is actually made from her spoiler, which is actually pretty cool. I like the fact that they actually did do that. There are a couple of things that you could have that could have actually made it better in order to make it more hideable as a katana, and then a spoiler and everything, you know? So like, it really doesn't come out to be so bad, but it's not the best and it's not the worst. With Wheeljack here, you know that they were actually thinking Donatello and Steve Urkel. His colors all together actually kind of says, did I do that? And for me, it kind of reminds me of the Urkel bot that they actually had way back in the day in Family Matters and everything. You know what I mean? Like, everything about this actually just says just says Urkel bot to me, especially because of like the gold hairline, because of the gold helmet right over here and everything. I want to call it a hairline and everything like that, but everything about this actually says Steve to me and everything, you know what I mean? But aside from that, he's not too bad. I like the robot mold itself and everything like that. I like the design. The design is actually great, but is it Wheeljack great? Not really. He actually does have one weapon that he actually comes with, and that's this sci-fi gun over here and everything like that, which is actually cool. I like the design myself and everything like that, and I think it's actually like very inspired by like a lot of like things that we've actually seen in Star Trek and Star Wars and everything like that. And is he Wheeljack great? Well, let's see, because like, here goes Wheeljack greatness over here and everything, and they actually had it right in the beginning. Like, this guy is just so good. Like, everything about this guy, it just says Wheeljack all over and everything like that, you know? Not so much with this guy altogether, you know? The differences are so stark and vast and everything, you know what I mean? And the one thing that could have actually saved this is if we actually had the Wheeljack face and the ears, and also the color matching. Like, the colors are actually all wrong for him and everything altogether. So I don't really think that they could have actually really said Wheeljack. Also, I kind of feel like the quality is actually really lacking on this version of Wheeljack over here and everything like that. We actually had like a lot of sturdy, really just robust plastic on this and everything. And the way they actually wowed us with this figure and everything, it was just like amazing. We actually admitted that it was smaller as compared to a lot of Transformers figures that were actually released and everything like that. But he actually made up for it with like good quality and everything like that. And I don't really see like a whole lot of great quality over here and everything like that, you know? I might feel a little bit different after I actually tighten a few things, but also that gold plastic and everything like that, you know, this is actually kind of like more of a brown bronze kind of a thing, but I would not be surprised if we actually saw gold plastic syndrome actually following these guys. Who is my favorite in between these guys? And I'm actually really gonna have to say that Cheetor actually really takes it. So I'd actually say Cheetor, then it would actually go over to Poindexter over here, and then over to Nightbird over here and everything. And I don't know, like, I really think that they're actually just okay figures and everything like that. If you actually do go out to get them, they're worth it, but at the same time, I don't know, like, so in certain cases, they'd actually kind of like wait for them to go on sale or something like that for the optimum of pleasure of actually having them and everything like that. I kind of just wanted to get Cheetor myself. I did want to get this guy right over here. Nightbird is actually hit or miss and everything depending on you. I think she can actually be a fun character and everything like that, but she's not like the best. She's not the worst, but she's not the best, you know? But let me give you a couple of more comparisons. And my comparisons with this trio will be Real Life Wheeljack, Bumblebee, Cogman, and you can actually tell like the distinction in the sizes here and everything like that. It's actually kind of crazy how small these characters are actually getting. And first Bumblebee movie, Transformers Optimus Prime, and this is from the Studio Series, and he is amazing as always. On these three figures, they're not really the worst, but they're not really the best either or anything like that. And like I said, like I keep on saying with these guys and everything, like, if you get them, you may be pretty happy with them and everything like that, because I know they're actually kind of a lot of fun and everything. I've actually been playing around with Cheetor a lot more than anything else, you know? But as far as, and I've actually also been playing around with this guy also and everything like that, because I really love Poindexter here and everything. But as far as Nightbird, I think she may be the miss out of the whole entire crew and everything like that, but she actually does have some redeeming qualities and everything like that with her ninja blade and her claw weapon and everything like that. She can actually be a lot of fun. She's actually pretty playable, but at the same time, she actually has so much. She's so kibble terrific and everything, you know what I mean? I actually say buyer beware with her and everything, and only wait for her if, like, say, maybe she actually comes out in all silver and everything like that. But these two are actually definitely worth getting and everything like that. They're kind of like worth their weight out. They're kind of like worth their weight in shillings, you know what I mean? But I really do think that they're okay. Do I recommend them? Well, let's check out my final thoughts. So what are my final thoughts on this trio over here? I like them myself. You know, it's actually like a hit or miss on each and every one of these for different reasons and everything, you know? First off, this gold plastic thing and everything, I've always hated ever since Beast Wars and everything like that. I've actually learned my lesson, Hasbro. But let me tell you something. Like, I keep on wondering if this will actually become brittle enough over time and everything in order to break apart. Model-wise, he's actually very cool, and I really like the molding that actually goes on in here and everything. the actual figure himself is actually pretty nice. I really like that and everything. I do actually have to go in and tighten a few things. I'm not exactly sure why this actually comes over to us with like QC issues right out of the box and everything like that, because like the looser arms and everything like that. I already had to tighten up the legs and everything quite a bit in order to get him to even stand and everything. So if you actually have a way of fixing him up, yes, absolutely get him and everything, because like I think it's actually worth your time to actually have the figure. I think he's actually cool. As far as Cheetor was actually concerned, there was nothing extra that I needed to do on him and everything. He came out brilliantly right out of packaging and everything, you know. I really like his design, I like his styling, but also there is the browner plastic and everything like that. I keep on wondering, is it actually going to fall into the gold plastic syndrome situation? I don't know, but I really like him a lot. Even though he's a lot smaller than like what we actually had with Beast Wars Cheetor, I still think he's actually very cool. He's a good figure. As far as Nightbird is actually concerned, she has a lot to be desired, you know? She actually has a great model and everything. I really like the modeling that's actually going on here. The face is killer, you know? Like, I think that face is just like amazing, and that's exactly the attitude and the dire need to maim that I actually want to come out of my Nightbird and everything. But the rest of her though, why couldn't you make her all in silver and purple? If you actually fixed the whole entire car with the attitude of that face, you know, this would have actually been cool, and I would have actually gotten over, like, say, the wonky legs and everything like that. I would have actually gotten over the, the kibblerific stuff that's actually going on in here and everything. I would have gotten over quite a bit and everything like that. But you actually have this gold plastic that you're actually selling us and everything like that also, you know. I don't trust this gold plastic. I don't trust this gold plastic. You know, so like, I'm actually wondering if this will actually stand over the test of time and everything like that also, because I know that there will actually be cost-cutting measures and everything like that to actually get figures out there and everything like that for the buyer or for like the fan to actually go off and get and everything like that. Because I get it, you're looking to market your wares and everything like that. I get it. But at the same time, there's a lot to be desired on this figure and everything like that. So on these, he actually gets an A. Probably an A+, actually, you know? I'm actually kind of surprised about that myself and everything. And then he comes with a gut gun. When was the last time Cheetor actually came with a gut gun? That's actually very cool. With her, probably a D- or something like that, you know? With Wheeljack over here, with my Poindexter here, he actually gets a B+. And that's actually because of his styling and everything like that. I really like what they're actually doing with him. The thing with the suspenders and everything like that is kind of suspect. Again, I actually think Donatello, I think Steve Urkel I think the Urkelbot, you know? But he's okay, you know what I mean? He's actually kind of fun, you know, I like him. But like, one thing I don't like about the vehicles themselves is how much more smaller they've actually become over the years and everything like that. So I tend to think, if you're not into the size of the cars, I'd actually wait for a Studio Series. But if you're actually into it, I might not get them. I mean, I don't know. Like, I can't tell you what to do with your money. You're your own person. You do what you do. So my girlfriend just actually walked in here, and as lovingly as she is, she actually came over to me and said that I need to compare the new Wheeljack with Tech over here from Star Wars because they look like they could be brothers. You know? Is she right? I don't know. Like, maybe there's like a lost kinship here and everything like that. You know what I mean? Like, maybe. And that's it for me for today. I'm actually really happy that you've actually all joined me today to check these figures out and everything. I am waiting to see what all of you actually think about Transformers Rise of the Beast and everything. No spoilers for 2 or 3 weeks or something after the movie has actually come back. Then we'll all gather back over here and talk about it. You know, because I'm actually dying to see exactly what we're actually going to see. The character that I'm actually so far most impressed with right now is probably Optimus Primal. I don't know why. Like he looks like he's just gonna be badass. Ron Perlman is actually playing him. You know, like I don't think Ron Perlman is actually gonna loan his name to a bad movie or anything like that. So that's what actually gets me super excited. I'm already, you know, like Optimus Prime has already got my hots and everything like that. Super excited about RC. I really want to see exactly what they're actually going to do with Ares and Rhinox and everything like that. This is actually going to be a fun film. And like I said before, in one of my other reviews, they brought Kicker in. I can't believe, I really hope they call him Kicker too and everything like that, because that's actually going to be the kicker. Get it? Right? I don't know. Anyway, leave me insults in the comments. Anyway, I'm going to talk to you guys soon. I hope that you all are treating yourselves as kindly as can actually be. Make sure kindness is actually flowing through you like a soft breeze through the meadows. Also, make sure you're treating yourselves amazingly, and when these stop being magical, that's when I'll stop collecting. I will definitely talk to you all soon.